DP Rigathi Gachagua leads a 3-day National Coffee Stakeholders Summit in Meru in efforts geared towards revamping the subsector. And Ababu Namwamba revokes the establishment of the 3-year Talanta Hela Council 4 months after admission to the council. Right, our sign language interpreter goes by the name Moses Gitonga. My name is MUTEGI K. Martin. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, the High Court has ordered that personal bank accounts registered in the names of Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, that is Anne Atieno Amadi, be unfrozen, saying that there is no sufficient evidence showing that she benefited from the Kenya shillings 100 million gold scandal. Amadi, alongside Hassan Brian Ochieng and others, were sued by Brighton Gold Trading for illegally obtaining 100 million Kenya shillings for gold that they never supplied. Take a look.
It is a relief for the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Anne Atieno Amadi, following the directive by the High Court of unfreezing her personal accounts, which were frozen last month after she was mentioned being involved in a 100 million gold case scandal. The High Court Judge Justice Afren Mabea, in his ruling, says that the directive leading to freezing of Amadi's account was made in bad faith, as there is no sufficient evidence showing that she benefited from the 100 million gold case scandal. The ruling led in part that there is no evidence to show that the first respondent was involved in day-to-day activities of the law firm or that she benefited from the funds. Justice Mabea, however, dismissed Amadi's request of cancelling her son Brian Ochieng case, saying that, and I quote, she should not carry the cross of her son who is an adult, and the fact that she is Miss Amadi's son doesn't mean that she should bear the burden on his behalf, end of quote. Last month, Amadi was sued alongside her son Brian Ochieng and others by Brighton Gold Trading Dubai-based company, which claimed that the above-named persons illegally obtained over 100 million shillings for gold that they never supplied. According to Justice Mabea, Amadi will still remain a defendant to the petition tabled by Brighton Gold Trading Director Demetrius Branshaw, who has sued her to show that the law firm is registered in her name. James Murekimunda, KUTV.
All right, moving on. We look at other stories in this particular country, and we move over to Shakahola investigation, where the Senate ad hoc committee investigating the Shakahola deaths has today met with religious leaders from the National Council of Kenya, that is NCCK, Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, EAK, and other bodies on discussing matters relating to regulating the religious organizations in the country. Take a look.
The 11-member Senate ad hoc committee formed to investigate the Shakahola massacre and provide recommendations on regulating religious institutions has held a consultative meeting in the Senate chambers with religious leaders from different religious umbrella bodies, where they have discussed on the increased number of radical religious institutions teaching their congregants negative ways of the Bible. During this session, the religious leaders expressed their great concern of the Shakahola massacre, where more than 200 bodies have been exhumed and which are believed to be followers of the controversial Pastor Paul Mackenzie, who is still in prison. The religious leaders have called upon the government and the committee to find the root cause of the shocking deaths. The religious leaders have also disapproved the committee recommendations of imposing regulation measures on religious institutions, citing that it will be a violation of the Constitution of Kenya, which clearly stipulates that no regulation should be instigated on religious institutions. They have also called upon the committee to make reference to some of the countries, such as Russia, China, Tunisia, among others, which have placed regulatory measures on the religious institutions, and see whether the country will risk bearing consequences which follow with the regulation. The leaders have instead recommended to the government, which they say has lost moral authority, to first restore public trust by dealing with the Shakahola issue instead of rushing to sanction the religious institution, a method they say will not work. James Mureki Mwenda, KUT.
In line with the government's pledge to reform the coffee subsector to put money directly into the pockets of the farmers, Deputy President His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua convened a national stakeholders conference in Meru County, which began yesterday, 8th June, and will end tomorrow, 10th June. The summit aims to come up with strategies for long-lasting terms to benefit all coffee farmers, being one of Kenya Kwanza's economic agenda.
For the second day consecutively, Meru County has hosted all stakeholders in the coffee sector, in which was termed as the National Coffee Stakeholder Summit. The summit, led by the Deputy President, started on 8th Thursday and will come to an end on Saturday, 10th of June. At the end of the summit, they intend to get a solution on how the farmers can get coffee prices proportional to their efforts and labor.
And I want to say in broad daylight, I've seen all the cameras are here. I want to make an announcement to all those people who have been living on the sweat of the coffee farmers, that what you have gotten is enough and is sufficient. You can reinvest it elsewhere.
Speaking today morning in Three Steers Hotel in Meru, the Deputy President said that when the history of coffee will be written in the country, those involved in the current summit will be remembered. He added that coffee growing has a lot of money, but the money does not reach to the farmers as it's supposed to be. He added that he is dedicated to ensure that what will be discussed will come to pass, and he will not allow anyone to come in his way. He will work with everyone to ensure the initiative succeeds.
Mimi hata nilimwambia rais, hii wakulima ya kahawa na majani chai na maziwa na miraa na avocado, wakiweka pesa kwa mfuko, mimi hata akiniambia twende nyumbani tuko tayari kwenda, because that will be our legacy. Hata tusipofanya kitu kingine, hiyo inatosha, tukirudishia watu wetu heshima yao.
A section of Meru farmers were also engaged by the DP to get their views on how to build and grow the coffee subsector. In which the farmers say they should be allowed to elect their own representative in the Kenya Planters Corporation Union, and government to donate fee to support Coffee Research Foundation.
Kama hatutengenezi fund ya kuwasaidia. But I can tell you this incitement will come to an end when we successfully pass a bill and it is enacted and implemented. Hao mahasara waone hakuna mtu wako na shughuli na hawa, watawachana na hiyo maneno. So these people will be talking to trees. Have we agreed we are going to sort out this coffee issue once and for all? And you are the people destiny has placed in a unique opportunity to sort out the coffee subsector.
The Deputy President also used the platform to encourage Kenyans to support the financial bill, stating that it has a lot of benefits to Kenyans. He added that the opposition cannot offer solutions to the Kenyan problems through demonstrations. He urged Kenyans to give the president humble time to reform the economic problem, and they will be proud of him after 2 years. Jacob Okello, KUTV.
Moving on, now after his impeachment in the Siaya County Assembly, Deputy Governor William Oduol's fate now lies in the Senate. The Siaya County Speaker George Okode is expected to send a written communication to the Senate Speaker, who will appoint an ad hoc committee to consider the probe before finally tabling the matter to the floor of the Senate.
A political showdown, horrendous drama, and cheap misdemeanor in the Lakeside County. A war of words between a governor and second in command has birthed the first impeachment motion of a public servant in the Senate since the 2022 August elections. William Oduol is not new in Siaya politics. He vied for the Siaya governorship, giving the former county boss Colonel Rosanga a run for his money. And now he stands in the way of the current governor James Sorengo, igniting a violent political turbulence in the Lakeside.
Welcome you back to the resumption of proceedings of this sitting. I believe that you have had an opportunity to go through the report of the Special Committee on the removal from office of the Deputy Governor William Oduol.
Oduol's impeachment has been a lacking slap on his face, and when it came, the man suffered the fate of a lone wolf. Out of the 42 members of the county assembly, not even a single soul voted against his impeachment.
The members in support of the motion for removal, those who have voted yes, or I vote yes, are 42. I vote no as 0. I abstain as 0. And therefore, the House has unanimously passed the motion on removal from office, William Oduor.
Tabling his report on the floor of the CI Assembly, the Impeachment Ad Hoc Committee Chairman Francis Otieto accused the DG of character assassination, gross misconduct, violation of the Constitution, and misuse of over 18 million shillings in the refurbishment of his office. Oduor was given an opportunity to clear his name before the Impeachment Committee and give his record of events. The Deputy Governor cleansed his soul, stating that, as I quote, "For a good 3 months I was in touch with our Governor James Sorengo on the loopholes of internal channels. In November and December, I spoke to him, but sometime between January and February, he had been trying to disengage from me. He was not consulting as was the norm. And then the final nail in the coffin was when he returned to the office, people who were under investigation on a 600 million shillings graft case, and that is when I started to talk." Oduor continues, "I have been tasked to look at finance. How do I look at finance if I am not going to interact with the accountants and professionals and get myself appraised and be brought abreast with the current affairs when we go to these things? There is cross coordination of ideas." End of quote.
Honorable Obuya Justus Oguta. Yes. Honorable Uchieng Dora Abonyo. I vote yes. Honorable Uchieng Seth Baraka.
Oduor's ball that has been bouncing in different courts is now in the Senate, where a political showdown is anticipated between the government and opposition senators. As it stands, the Kenya Kwanza regime has the upper hand, with 24 senators and others like Fatuma Dullo who have shifted camp. However, before then, Oduor's fate will be assigned to a Senate special committee, which will make a recommendation of his ouster or throw out the case. Either way, the Siaya County political cinema will continue shortly. Munene Weru, KU TV.
From Siaya, we move to Elgeyo Marakwet, where the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Kithure Kindiki, today took his security campaign to the embattled Kerio Valley, bringing together political and community leaders from the region. Among others, the Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Wesley Rotich and Tiaty MP William Kamket.
In a bid to revive a hope for peace in the Kerio Valley, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Kithure Kindiki, and his envoy today held a peace campaign in the Chesagon interjection of the Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, and West Pokot counties. Kindiki brought with him a raft of security measures, vowing to show brute force to members of the dangerous banditry formations.
Kazi yangu imekuwa rahisi kwa sababu nyinyi wenyewe mnaamini kwa roho zenu ya kwamba wakati umefika watu wetu kuwa na amani na utulivu katika bonde la Kerio.
Some of the government's means of security, as per the CS, will be to develop education and agricultural frameworks. The CS, however, reassured that the government will instigate no one without proper substantive evidence, that the government will not use legal processes as a political weaponry to deal with its enemies.
Nimekuja hapa kwa niaba ya serikali na nimetumwa hapa na Mheshimiwa Rais ili kuhakikisha kwamba mambo ambayo tumeanzisha hapa yanadumishwa, tusije tukarudia hii mambo mwaka nenda mwaka rudi.
A similar message was recited by political leaders present, including Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Wesley Rotich, Tiaty MP William Kamket, and his Sigor counterpart Peter Lochakapong, among a host of tribal and religious chiefs.
Tumekuja hapa Mheshimiwa Waziri mpaka tukataja majina ya wakora wachache wenye wako upande huu na upande ule.
Na hiyo mikakati yote ambayo serikali imeweka, naomba ndugu yangu hizo mikakati ziwe za kudumu, iwe deliberate, sustained, mpaka hii maneno iishe kabisa.
Kerio Valley has been a bloody battleground for various tribal bandits, with the dreadlock yet to be unlocked fully. With the recent police military operations in the north, dubbed Operation Commercial Uhalifu North Rift, the government hopes to finally silence the gangs in the region. Munene Weru, KU TV.
The First Lady, Rachel Ruto, who has been in Kakamega County since 8th of June, has today paid an unexpected visit to her alma mater, Butere Girls High School in Kakamega County. The arrival of the First Lady was met with great joy by the students, led by their principal, Mrs. Jennifer Omondi. Mama Rachel praised the students for their dedication and enthusiasm and offered words of encouragement.
Butere Girls High School in Kakamega County has today been taken by surprise as the First Lady Rachel Ruto made an unannounced visit. Considering that this is not the first time that Rachel Ruto has visited her alma mater, the students led by their principal, Mrs. Jennifer Omondi, jubilantly received her. Impressed by the students' dedication and enthusiasm, the First Lady encouraged them to remain focused and work hard to achieve their goals, emphasizing that education unlocks endless opportunities for they are future change makers of the society. Later on, Rachel Ruto engaged with the students in their hall, where she delivered a spiritual message and prayed for them while the girls engaged in fervent worship. The First Lady is a proud alumnus of the ACK-sponsored school, which has also produced the first Kenyan judge at The Hague, Lady Justice Joyce Oluoch, and Kenya's first female High Court judge, Lady Justice Effie Awor, among others. Lynette Maina, KUTV.
It is 21 minutes past 9 p.m. We take a short break right here on KUTV Primetime News. We have much more in store for you, so stay tuned.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Loving husband and father. Nothing is too good for my daughter. And
Welcome back. You're still watching KUTV Primetime News, and you can get us on YouTube and Facebook at KUTV Kenya. Now, the Cabinet Secretary for Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, along with the Cabinet Secretary for ICT and Digital Economy, attended an event organized by beach management officials in Asembo, Siaya County, with an aim of tackling challenges encountered by the fishermen in the Nyanza region, including the counties of Busia, Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Migori.
Salim Viura, Cabinet Secretary for Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, accompanied by CS for ICT and Digital Economy, met with officials from the beach management units in the Lake Victoria region who brought up issues raised by the fishermen in the region. Tom Guda, the national chairman of the beach management unit, raised the primary concern, which is the actions of the security agents from the neighboring countries, citing that some of these activities are not supported by the government.
Waziri, we are losing a lot of money, and our people have continued to suffer from the hands of our brothers and sisters, mostly from the Republic of Uganda. All the departments doing enforcement have now moved closer to the borders of Kenya. And some of the activities they are doing, Waziri, are not activities that are backed by law. For instance, today, a number of my fishermen are arrested for using solar lights to carry out omena fishery.
Mvura responded to the insecurity concern, stating that the cabinet has already addressed the issue of cross-border insecurity and the government will establish a multi-agency team to address the matter in collaboration with neighboring countries that share the same waters of Lake Victoria.
It is already something we discussed in cabinet, and we agreed that we'll have a multi-agency team which will handle this matter with our Ugandan counterparts.
Eliud Owalo, the Cabinet Secretary for ICT and Digital Economy, pledged the government's support in creating an enabling environment for fishermen, stating that the ministry will establish digital laboratories to equip fishermen with ICT skills.
As part and parcel of our digitalization agenda, we have got an ambitious program of setting up digital laboratories at the grassroots level. Each and every ward in this country, we are going to set up a digital laboratory. We want to go a step further as a means of augmenting your efforts to set up a digital laboratory in each and every fish business centers.
Other issues addressed were the fish landing sites in the whole region and cooling system, which will solve some of the causes of harassment from the neighboring countries.
We are working with our colleagues in lands, and we have formed a team in my office so that we can identify the landing sites that have titles, those that have been grabbed, and those that we need to provide the title. But what we have said now is that we want to make fisheries a formidable business, because we know most of the fishing communities also get their livelihoods from fisheries.
The resolution of the persistent insecurity will be immensely beneficial, considering the crucial importance of the fishing industry in the country. Lynette Maina, KUTV.
A multi-agency security team has arrested an octogenarian woman among other illicit brewers during their operation in Magengo, Laikipia County. Marikuni Tanaba, a vulnerable woman, was found hiding 6 liters and several bottles of illicit alcohol in her house, together with crude weapons that were suspected to be used for criminal activities in the area.
A 99-year-old illicit brew seller Marikuni Tanaba has been arrested for conducting illegal business in Magengo, Laikipia County. During the illicit alcohol crackdown operation, 6 liters of changa, several bottles of illicit alcohol, and crude weapons which were suspected to be used for criminal operation were discovered in the woman's house by multi-agency security team. Laikipia East Deputy Commissioner Patrick Muli said that the woman has been threatening to cast a spell on the security officers whenever she is confronted for the act. He, however, said that the woman, who seemed to be an associate of thieves, will be subjected to law regardless of her age.
Pombe haramu hainanga miaka ya kusema huyu mama amekuwa mzee, huyu ni kijana. Kama umepatikana na hatia ya pombe haramu, haijalishi miaka ni wewe kuna miaka ngapi, pia tunakukamata na kustaki. Pia tunakustaki kwa ile vitu ambayo tupata kama kisu ambayo tunaamini ni ya wizi. Hata hiyo iko juma ambayo ya kufunya naye nyumba pia tumerecover, ambayo tunaamini huyu mama ana host vijana ambaye lazima ni wezi katika hii town hii.
Moreover, in Liki resident, the security officer destroyed 760 liters of beer that were unearthed in Nyanyuki riverbanks after the owners failed to show up as demanded by the officers. Muli said that the alcohol has been prepared in an unconducive environment and is not suitable for human consumption. He, however, promised to win war against alcoholism by subjecting the illicit brewers to law.
Na nafikiria na tumainia nataka niambia wananchi ni vizuri wafichue hao wahalifu because hao tunatuti kama wahalifu because hii pombe ile mazingira inatumika kwa wakati inapigwa inakuwa ni mazingira sio mbaya sana kwa wananchi. Hata tunaweza kusema zingine unapata siko na diapers, zingine zimewekwa vitu zingine chafu sana.
This comes after Deputy President's wife Dorcas Rigathi deployed the first cohorts of alcohol addicts at Holy Innocents Center for Rehabilitation and promised to sponsor their education.
It is not only here in Mount Kenya. I am doing it. I was in Bungoma. I was in Nandi. I am in Nairobi. I am in Western. And I'm heading to Isiolo. I'm going to Northeastern. We are going to change and transform. This boy child must be rescued and saved.
The arrested brewers has been taken to Nanyuki police station where their investigation on incident awaits. Zena Odhiambo, KUTV.
And confusion erupted in the Lugari constituency in Kakamega after police successfully escaped from an angry mob. The police officers were accused of stealing cattle using a police Land Cruiser. This incident occurred after a police officer from the Lamakanda station was beaten by enraged citizens following allegations of theft in the particular area. Take a look.
Police in Lugari constituency managed to escape from the crowd after being accused of stealing cattle using a police Land Cruiser. The residents discovered that the missing cattle were not present and suspected that an officer who had taken the vehicle for washing in a nearby river was involved. Benson Somek, a boda rider and a resident, along with Boaz Mugunda, stated that these officers have been repeatedly accused of involvement in other criminal activities, including livestock theft in the region.
Polisi wa Lumakanda hao ndio wanatuibia. Leo tumeshika mmoja, ametuibia ng'ombe yetu yenye si bodaboda tumelea. Tunangangana tunanua ng'ombe, lakini polisi inakuja inatuibia badala watuchunge. Saa 4 wanatufukuza, sisi tuende nyumbani, hawa wanarudi kutuibia nyuma.
Na sisi tunasikia vibaya sana. Kwa sababu sisi tunashikwa, tunawekwa ndani kwa sababu kwa kosa lenye tujefanya. Na kumbe ni hao ndio wanafanya, alafu wanatusingizia ni sisi. Tunaomba sheria ichukue mkondo yake.
According to the owners of the cattle was stolen during the night and transported by the police to another county. The police commander in the area, Bernard Ngungu, has questioned and urged the citizens to provide more information to assist in the investigation. Ngungu added that legal action would be taken against the officer who was allegedly hired to transport the cattle from Webuye to another location.
And once the cow is recovered, we will definitely hand over the stock to the officers from Uasin Gishu to take over the investigations. And on our side, if our officer was involved, we are going to take administrative actions, because maybe if that is the case, maybe he took the car without authority, that is the vehicle without authority. We will deal with him departmentally, because that is not allowed.
The stolen cattle in Lugari yesternight were later today found hidden in the nearby Bungoma County in Webuye. The question still remains on who was involved. Jackie Nasiran, KUTV.
Like most journalists, Kenyans are dealing with an increase in disinformation that threatens to discredit their profession. They are also being targeted for violence for doing their jobs. For VOA, Saida Swale has this story.
Eriki Center scrolls through images. They show a protest the NTV video journalist had been assigned to cover in late March. Organized by Kenya's opposition leader Raila Odinga, protesters rallied against the cost of living, but what started as a peaceful event soon turned chaotic.
The tear gas actually was thrown on us. We were coughing that moment. I remember telling my crew members, we were actually 4 of us up there. So I was telling my fellow camera person, please let's just go down. It has never been this way.
The journalists had their equipment on top of a vehicle, searching for the perfect shot when police approached and fired tear gas in their direction.
The moment I just turned this side to pick my camera because it was hanging, it's when I was hit by this tear gas. That's when. Then I didn't know what happened from there. I just found myself on the tarmac. The first thing I saw when I gained my conscience is my 4 months child. Anyway, let me say the child, and my wife.
The Media Council of Kenya took up his case and others.
We have written to the Inspector General of Police and we have documented the case. We are actually following up the cases one by one.
Kenya's Inspector General of Police apologized after the protests and said any malpractice will be dealt with. The Media Council is also working to ensure journalists have access to newsworthy events, including the exhumation of members of a cult found in a mass grave. Authorities tried to restrict access for the press, says Omoyo.
I told the government the approach is unacceptable, but I told them that we understand what you're going through. Please put up a media center and organize regular briefings. Whenever you shut down media that we can see, you open the floodgates of rumors, and then rumors will kill a country because people now lack verifications and legitimacy.
Kenya's Interior Ministry told VOA that because of the active investigation into mass graves, the area is off limits to unauthorized people. And while media were initially denied access, a pool system has been set up to allow one reporter and one cameraman to have authorized access each day. Kenya is seeing the same surge in dis and misinformation witnessed globally, said media experts.
There's been quite a lot of misinformation. A lot of it exacerbated at the height of the pandemic, and we see that the effects of that even to date.
For Isinta, the scars from his protest assignments are a reminder of a narrow escape.
And you see, this is the eye that I usually use for my every camera person. This is what I use for my daily activities. So when it is hit, my only gratitude that I'm alive and I can see my family. That's the only point. That's the only important thing now for my life.
The experience underscores, too, the dangers media confront on a regular basis. For VOA, Saida Swale in Nairobi, Kenya.
June 28th marks the 5th anniversary of the worst attack on media inside the U.S., where a gunman opened fire in the Capital Gazette newsroom. The events of that day left an indelible mark on the journalists who survived. VOA's Christina Caicedo-Smith has that story from Annapolis, Maryland.
Several fatalities and several people there in the hospital.
It was an act of violence that took the lives of 5 staff at an Annapolis newspaper, the Capital Gazette, and changed the lives of those who survived, including photojournalist Paul Gillespie.
And I'm sitting at my computer and I heard a loud crash, loud shot, and then a crash of glass, and it was him shooting through the front door.
Amid the chaos, emergency lights, the yellow tape, and the influx of first responders, journalists from the Gazette gathered in the back of a colleague's truck and started writing. In July 2021, the shooter, who said he was upset at the newspaper's coverage of him, was found criminally responsible. He will serve life in prison for the murders. But for Gillespie, the memories of that day are still vivid.
And when I'm feeling really bad, it feels like I'm just waiting to die, waiting for what should have happened to me that day to, catch up to me.
The Dart Center for Journalism and Trauma at New York's Columbia University says that 80% of reporters have been exposed to work-related traumatic events. And groups like the U.S. Press Freedom Tracker record hundreds of assaults and threats against media. For Gillespie, the shooting marked a before and after in his personal life and his career.
I do get nervous about going to things, and for a while after the shootings, even now, they think twice about sending me to a vigil or something for somebody who's been shot, because around here, whenever somebody mentions gun violence, they all talk about the Capital Gazette.
His former colleague, Rachel Pachela, is another survivor, a reporter. Pachela covered the Anne Arundel County school system, public land access, and obituaries for children.
I really didn't see myself doing anything else.
The day of the shooting, Pachela was inside the newsroom. That event changed her life. Marcella only recently stopped working at the Annapolis newspaper to pursue a career in communications, but the experience made her reflect on the security of journalists in the U.S.
As work went remote, I suppose there's no longer like a central target, but I do worry about, how a journalist would keep themselves safe, in their own home without any kind of support or resources from other people.
In Annapolis, the Guardians of the First Amendment Memorial honors the 5 lives lost: Gerald Fishman, Rob Heisen, John McNamara, Rebecca Smith, and Wendy Winters. Gillespie, too, is honoring his Capital Gazette family through an exhibition.
What was great about my project here that is all around us is I got to talk to every one of these people making these pictures. Like, they would come to my studio, and for an hour, hour and a half, we would have like what I consider to be like mini therapy sessions between us.
Gillespie is the last photojournalist at the Gazette from that 2018 newsroom. He still goes out on assignments and is committed to local journalism.
We are not the enemy of the people. We are your neighbors. We're your sons, your daughters, your parents.
Cristina Caicedo Smith, VOA News, Annapolis.
All right, time for us to take our second short break here on KTV Primetime News. When we come back, we'll come back loaded with sports news.
The future is very bright for the rabbit farmers, because if each farmer can have 2 female rabbits and 1 buck, every year a female rabbit is supposed to get around 40 kids. That's a big number.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that you are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called Security Breach Detector and Can Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosive.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
You need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, Portmore. That's my village.
Sanga tu chini hapo ukinyepia ukikatia mademu akipita.
Sina pesa saa hii, nimekuja kukopesa choo.
Welcome back and welcome to Sport News. Now, the Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Ababu Namwamba, has revoked the appointment of Talanta Hela Council before the launch of the Talanta Hela program held at State House, Nairobi, presided over by President William Ruto alongside Namwamba.
The Talanta Hela program was launched today at State House, Nairobi, alongside President William Ruto, accompanied by Prime CS Musalia Mudavadi, Sports CS Ababu Namwamba, among other invited guests. Different youth groups showcased their various forms of art and talent, while Ruto launched the 70 years anniversary of Safari Rally, meeting rally drivers as the country prepares to host the World Rally Championships in Naivasha from June 22nd to 25th.
For the drama and film concert which you hosted. And today, Your Excellency, we are experiencing something that has never happened before, bringing the creatives to the grounds of State House. Let us give His Excellency a round of applause.
Sports CS Ababu Namwamba has however revoked the establishment of the Talanta Hela Council in a Gazette notice dated June 9, 2023. The move by Namwamba comes weeks after the High Court suspended the implementation of the Talanta Hela Council in a ruling by Justice Lawrence Mugambi on May 23, 2023.
And in the last 6 months, Your Excellency, we have taken time to consolidate all the thinking from the plan from better, and we are now able to present to you an implementable, coherent program called Talanta Hela.
In February this year, President William Ruto's digital strategist Dennis Itumbi, media personality Carol Radul, popular TikToker Aziad Nasenya, and comedian Dalian Dambuki aka Churchill were among personalities appointed into the Talanta Hela Council. The council, comprising of 2 technical committees in sports and creatives, had other 11 members, including former Kenyan international Boniface Ambani, renowned javelin superstar Julius Yego, football administrator Sami Sholei, among others. Namwamba has explained the mission of Talanta Hela initiative is to monetize Kenyan talents, and that the initiative will market and monetize Kenyan talents through sports and economic plan.
We are anchoring this program on partnerships. And I want to acknowledge those who have defined our sporting legacy over the years. We have representatives in this audience, Your Excellency, from all sporting federations.
Jama Gikomo for KUTV Sports.
Harambee Stars head coach Engin Firat has said that he has a long-term ambition of developing a competitive national team, as the players did their final training session today ahead of the 4-team friendly tournament in Mauritius from June 11th to June 18th.
Harambee Stars undertook their last training session today as they prepare to play in a 4-team tournament in Mauritius. The tournament will include host Mauritius alongside Pakistan and Djibouti, and Stars head coach Engin Firat has said he has long-term plans for the national team as he prepares for CECAFA and AFCON qualifying matches.
First, we have the AFCON qualifiers, and I think I have to concentrate on some groups. This is one group, it's the players who are on the top of their level, who can play or help the national team now at the moment. At the same time, these boys we have a lot of players who are under 23, and therefore one part of our story is also, for example, in end of July we have the CECAFA tournament, so where the boys also can show themselves, also can get international experience.
Firat also complimented the squad, which has a blend of both experienced and young players, and has urged the young players to take the opportunity to represent the country in the international duty, to gain more experience and showcase their talents.
Comparing to the last match against Iran, 5 players from the first 11 will be not with us. So it's one part is a little bit disappointing for me as coach, because of course you want to have more time with the same players to use to play together. But on the other side, I try always to see everything positive, and therefore there are a lot of new players who can use this chance, and we work on it. And I hope that the players understand this and they go on and use this chance to be prepared and to show themselves that they are ready for the next challenges who are coming up.
Harambee Stars captain and striker Michael Olunga is optimistic that Harambee Stars can be a very competitive squad if patience is exercised while the coach builds the team. Olunga said they will use the upcoming matches to prepare for the AFCON and World Cup qualifying matches.
So we want to use it as a build-up, and a preparation for now the World Cup qualifiers and the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers that are going to start at the end of the year. It's a fairly new squad, a lot of fresh faces in the team, and I think it's a good way also and an opportunity for players who have been really performing well, especially in the local league.
Harambee Stars will kick things off against Djibouti on June 11th and will proceed to play against Pakistan on June 14th before finishing things off against host Mauritius on June 18th at the Angela Open Stadium, Mauritius. Jama Gikomo, KUTV Sports.
Kenya's 100-meter Commonwealth Games champion Ferdinand Omanyala is looking to win his first Diamond League title when the event kicks off tonight at the Charity Stadium in Paris, France. Omanyala finished second and third in the Florence and Rabat Diamond Leagues respectively and will look forward to finishing first in tonight's showpiece, while Kenya's Faith Kipyegon, who is the 1500 meters record holder, has said she is prepared to win when she participates in the 5,000 meter race from 10:24 p.m. Kenyan time. And Manchester City are huge favourites heading into tomorrow's UEFA Champions League final against Inter Milan in Istanbul, as Pep Guardiola's men aim to finally get their hands on the greatest prize in European club football and compete a historic treble. This City has already won the English Premier League and FA Cup and are looking to complete the famous treble only managed by Manchester United in 1999, when the Nerazzurri, currently coached by Simone Inzaghi, have won the UCL 3 times in their history and will stand in the way of Pep Guardiola's juggernauts when the two teams clash at the Olympic Atatürk Stadium in Istanbul, Turkey from 10 p.m. local time.